Hey, Scott Lara, president of militaryfairs.com and thecruisegenius.com. If you're a member of the military, if you're a family member of a military person, or if you're a veteran like I am, go to militaryfairs.com for your next trip. If it's airfare, if it's a cruise, if it's an all-inclusive resort, go to militaryfairs.com. If you're interested in a cruise, email me directly, scott@militaryfairs.com. And of course, with our airfare, we can get you to your cruise. Let's talk about cruises for a second. I've cruised now for many years. And back in the day, there were only a couple options, pretty much like Carnival or Royal Caribbean and maybe NCL. But now there are many more options for you. Now, a lot of people say they don't want to deal with kids on a cruise ship. Case in point, Celebrity is opening up their solarium, adults only area now to kids. Well, they're opening it up for a couple hours here, a couple hours there if it's cold weather. But a lot of people on Celebrity, my demographic, 50 plus adults, they don't want kids in the solarium. Why? Because parents are going to sit on their phones. They're just going to sit there and not even going to watch Timmy and Brittany. And they're going to be playing in this pool, playing in the hot tub, laugh, splash, splash, look at me. And most adults don't want to see that. And like on Holland America Line, and I've sailed over 150 days on Holland America Line. The grandparents seeing the kids, aren't they cute? But the fact of the matter is, most adults want to go on cruises to get away from kids. And if they do go on Carnival or they do go on NCL or MSC, Royal Caribbean, whatever, they're either bringing kids or they're okay with kids being there. That's why Virgin Voyages is crushing it with their demographic. 50-50, male, female. Many of the folks from their survey says that these are adults with kids at home. A lot of people, 50 plus, maybe they're kids like mine. Like my kids are growing up, they're on autopilot. So the fact of the matter is, now there are more cruise lines than ever. So just off the top of my head, Holland America, which is, I affectionately refer to as the AARP cruise. It is an older demographic. No roller coaster, no zip line, nothing like that. It's 5-star food, 5-star service, incredible ports of call, and amazing ships. And I've been on many of them. I've been on the Maasdam, I've been on the Oosterdam, I've been on the Westerdam, I've been on New Amsterdam, and I've been on New Amsterdam and one other one. I'll forget the name of it here in a minute. But there are lots of ships. Oh, Eurodam and New Amsterdam. Those are the ones I'm talking about. So that's Holland America. Let's talk about Royal Caribbean. Now, Royal Caribbean, family friendly. You got the Icon of the Seas now with 5,000 plus passengers on board. My wife and I stayed at a cabin that was family friendly on our last cruise on the Icon of the Seas. Of course, we've been on Mariner and we've been on one or two other, we've been on a Monarch, but Monarch of the Seas has been retired. And Carnival. Marty and I have been on Carnival. We got over 75 days on Carnival. Carnival Sunshine, Carnival Liberty, Carnival Fascination, which is gone now. Got a tear coming out of my eye on that. And of course, the Carnival Elation out of Jacksonville. I've been on NCL, pretty much the NCL Pearl, Norwegian Pearl. And that's a cruise line that specializes in groups. So I was on the Groove Cruise with my good friend Jason Bukima, and I was also on the Blake Shelton Cruise. So, and then lastly, I've been on MSC. Now, MSC kind of gets a bad rap. They're a Italian cruise line, and a lot of people complain about the food, but I really think when I was on MSC Seashore last year, the food was good, the service was good, the rooms were very nice, the ship was amazing. So I don't have a rock to throw at MSC at all. I think it's a great cruise line. So let me kind of zoom in on this. It just depends on your demographic, what cruise you want to go on, what you expect, what your expectations are. So let's go through some demographics, right? Let's say you're a 70, 75-year-old millionaire and you want to take your family on a cruise and you want to sit there at that dinner table and see Brittany and Timmy and Caleb and Rocky and everybody. You just want to see them and just, kind of spend your inheritance a little bit early. And their inheritance early. You don't want to just give them the money, you want to bless them. So you're going to go ahead and you may go on Holland America Line, and then you can get all the kids a cabin, and there are kids clubs and stuff. Now, if the a billionaire grandpa really wants to go nuts, he can go on the Icon of the Seas and get, $100,000 a week, the top cabin there, and maybe spend another 50 grand on the cabin with the slide that goes down in the room. And so you could do that. So that's if you're the 70-year-old grandpa who wants to kind of deplete your bank account before you die. Now, let's say you're me, 62 years old, married 40 years. I have my son-in-law and daughter, and my 2 grandkids, 2 of the 3, my 6-year-old and my 4-year-old grandsons. We went on the Carnival Liberty. Why? It's a very close drive from Jacksonville, Florida, down to Port Canaveral. It was an inexpensive cruise. It was during the summer when the kids were out of school. And then my cabin, my wife's and my cabin, we had bunk beds for the grandkids, which they loved. And then my daughter and son-in-law had a cabin on a different deck just to have some alone time. But the kids wanted to go to the kids club. They love the kids club. They were begging to go to the kids club. And if there's one thing I could tell Carnival, keep the kids club open longer. They close it during lunch and dinner, and I understand why. They don't want Timmy, who's got a peanut allergy, having Brittany walking by, I've got a peanut M&M, and then the kid's throat closes up, and now you're in trouble. So I believe Carnival wants to close the kids club for these meal times so that the parents or grandparents can feed the kids the food they're not going to choke on, and then just bring the kids back later. I get that. And I will say, I'm strongly opposed to leaving your kids in the kids club when you go to a port of call like Nassau or any other port, because God forbid something happened to mom and dad in Jamaica or Cancun or somewhere, and then the kids are back in the kids club, and where's mommy and daddy? The ship is sailing away, and they either missed the ship or something happened. And that's very unlikely, but we all know things happen. That's why you buy travel insurance. So that's my personal demographic there. Now, let's talk about my daughter and son-in-law. They are in their 40s, and they have my 2 grandsons, my 6-year-old and 4-year-old. Hey, Dad. Hey, Brittany. What's up? We want to go on a Virgin Voyages cruise. No problem. We'd love to watch the grandkids, right? Love doing it. But Virgin Voyages, the value, that is the key with Virgin Voyages, the value. Because free Wi-Fi, free water, and basic drinks, like soda. Great cabins, pretty much, ship's only a couple of years old, so it's almost brand new. They go to great ports of call, especially Bimini, which my wife Marty and I have been to Bimini. We went to Bimini on the Carnival Liberty, great port of call. And that's another video, we need to talk about Bimini. But Virgin Voyages is absolutely perfect for adults. Perfect for, the 18 plus crowd, lots to do, lots of entertainment, lots of fun, a little bit edgy here and there. You get a bar tab, which you can actually use on the private island on Bimini. So Virgin Voyage is great for that demographic of, either dual income, no kids, parents who don't have kids, or parents who do have kids who want a break from the kids and have an amazing experience on Virgin Voyages. And there's no specialty restaurants on Virgin Voyages, like on Holland America Line or Celebrity or somebody like that. To get that premium experience, you're gonna have to pay $50-$60 per person maybe, even on Carnival, to go to the steakhouse or go to Chef Rudy's fish place on the Mardi Gras or something like that. And so, yeah, and even like on NCL, you got specialty restaurants. And the notion out there is, well, they serve you kind of basic food in the main restaurant, so you bump it up to the nice one. I don't know about that, but I will tell you, my wife and I love the Pinnacle Grill on Holland America Line. I love Blue on Celebrity, but on Virgin Voyages, like the Wake, Virgin, Extra Virgin, they're Italian, all free. It's all included in the fare, which is very, very cool. So again, talking about demographics, it just depends. And you can email me, scott@militaryfairs.com. Be happy to share my knowledge with you, just as long as you book with me. I'm not going to tell you a whole bunch of stuff and then you go click on some website. unless it's militaryfairs.com, but I can personally help you with that. The point I'm trying to say is this: whatever demographic you fall in, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to come home from your vacation and say, man, this was great. You don't want to come home from your vacation and say, there's a bunch of kids in the hot tub. I have a good friend of mine. She and her husband went on a Royal Caribbean cruise, and they're by the hot tub, and these kids were in the hot tub all day long. And these friends of mine, hey, Timmy, hey, Brittany, where are your parents? Oh, my dad's in the casino, and my mom's getting a cellulite wrap. Bad thing was these kids never got out of the hot tub to go to the bathroom, so put two and two together. They just stayed in the hot tub all day and had a good time. My big thing is parents taking a vacation from being parents. Let me say that again. One of my big things is parents taking a vacation from being parents. That's just not cool. And listen, if you don't want your kids, leave them with grandma and grandpa, or leave them with a family member or something that you trust, and go on virgin voyages and you're away from kids. But don't go on a cruise, bring your kids, and just, let them run wild. So, in conclusion, regarding cruising, there are lots of options available. There are lots of cruise lines available, but I urge you, book sooner rather than later. Prices are only going to go up. Cruise lines are building bigger and bigger ships. They're building more ships, and don't think just because they're doing that, the prices are going to go down. Royal Caribbean just recently announced that they have surpassed their booking numbers by a large margin. And you got to keep into account, they just came out of COVID, and so they're trying to recoup those billions of dollars that they've lost during COVID, but cruise lines are charging more, they're getting that money, and the people are having a great time. For more information, email me, scott@militaryfairs.com. Go to militaryfairs.com to book your airfare and hotels for your pre and post cruise stays, or if you just want to travel to Chicago, go to Cancun, go to Paris, your airfare and your hotel, go to militaryfairs.com. If you're a member of the military, a veteran like I am, or a family member of a military person. The weekend's coming up, and let's have fun. Scott Lara, president of militaryfairs.com.